Life is tough these days. It seems like it gets crazier by the minute, and you need a positive interruption from all that craziness. Welcome to the Midday Manna, emanating from Atlanta, Georgia, and broadcasting to the world. Giving you hope and help getting those dreams out of your heart and into your hands. If it's faith, family, and finance, and everything in between, we're talking about it. Let's do this. This is the Midday Manna.
Please welcome
Dr. Charles Jerone Francis.
Hey, happy Friday. I hope you're having an amazing Friday thus far. Welcome to Midday Manna. I'm Dr. Charles Jerone Francis II, and I'm your host. I'm so glad you decided to take time out of the middle of your day, your busy schedule, your work schedule, your lunchtime, whatever it may be at this point, to really join me and hear this 15-minute pick-me-up on a Friday. I love you all so very much, and thanks for joining me again. Listen, go ahead and hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. If you're watching today, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe. It's going to help us get to that algorithm properly. And also hit that subscribe button and let you know when I'm on. I'm not, in the future, I just won't be on Wednesdays and Fridays and Sundays. I'll also be on other times as the Spirit tells me to get on. So hit that subscribe button, and that's going to put you in a place where you're not ever missing what I have to say, okay? All right, wonderful, wonderful. Listen, for those of you who don't know how we do things on Wednesdays and Fridays, I do something called Midday Manna, as you are on today. And then on Sundays at 9 a.m., I do something called Grits and Glory, okay? And I want you to be involved in that as well. Sundays, where I do the conclusion of the whole matter. We just try to come together and learn more about God and ourselves, get a bigger and better version of the one who loves us so very much. And so I'm so glad that you decided to join us. Let's go ahead and get into it. I don't have a ton to say today, but I do have some things that I believe will bless you. As things are going, I know people are still in disarray from what has transpired on this past Tuesday with our election and things of that nature. But I want to caution you that these types of things can come to be a major distraction in your life. I'm going to say that again. They can come to be a major distraction in your life. And we got to make sure that we're careful that even in your time of despair or having your emotions, some people are depressed, some people are hurt, some people are disappointed. Yes, those feelings, thoughts are real. They're the truth. They're how you really feel. But in the space of that, I want to encourage you today to not get distracted. We are on an assignment. Many of us are on a major assignment that God has given us, not just an assignment for the world per se, but you may be on an assignment for yourself. You may be on an assignment for your family. You may be on an assignment for the people who are around you in your community. And these types of things that we dealt with this past week can bring a huge distraction. I like to say it like this. Those who are distracted usually are the biggest distractions. One more time. Those who are distracted are usually the biggest distractions. And it is imperative that in these types of seasons that we keep our focus. Somebody type in here, stay focused. It is imperative that you stay focused, okay? And it can be easy to jump off the deep end. It can be easy to go a different route. It can be easy to be a different way, but it is imperative that at this time we stay focused, okay? And that staying focused, we're going to be able to complete what God has told us to complete. I said on Wednesday that we are in the last quarter. We're in the fourth quarter of the year, the fourth quarter, okay? You could be losing in the first quarter. You could be losing in the second quarter. You could even be losing in the third quarter. But when you get to that fourth quarter, it has the ability to change, shift, and redirect your whole entire life. And so I want to encourage you that just because some things have gone on in our world and are going on in our world, not to get unfocused, to stay focused on what it is that you need to complete. Okay, we don't want to get in this space of missing out on the opportunity or ending the year weak. We got to make sure that we end the year strong. Gotta make sure that we end the year strong. Okay, I had a little funny. The other day, I was watching, I like to watch reruns. I don't know about you. I was born in the 80s, and so 80s and 90s TV is really huge for me. Contrary to popular opinion, I am a Cosby Show fan. I am a TGIF Friday fan. And one of the shows that I liked on TGIF Friday is Family Matters. And so on, I believe it was Thursday, yesterday, I caught rerun of Family Matters, and Carl Winslow, the father, was really, really frustrated. He was really, really aggravated about a situation that was going on in his life, and it seemed to be affecting every area of his life. Have you ever been in a situation that seemed to now it's affecting every piece and every area of your life? And this is, if you're not careful, this is what Tuesday will do to many of us. It will affect every single area of our life and cause us to be stagnant, to begin to be in this space of being in the mundane, if we're not careful. And so Carl Winslow, in this episode, he is frustrated, he is depressed, he is feeling all kind of anxiety, and so he's trying to figure out how to handle it. And he says, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? One more time. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? And so I was laughing. I mean, I'm cracking up, laughing at this because I remember it and how it made me feel back then and how funny it was to me. But then as I started to dig into it, I felt like it would be important to say it to you today. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? Anytime he began to feel that he was going to be pulled out of his character, he began to center himself by saying 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? Meaning that let me take a moment to figure out what is it that's causing me to feel the way that I'm feeling. And if I can take this time to figure it out, then maybe I can handle it and it won't exacerbate itself or become larger than it needs to be. What is it in your life, or when is it at the times of the day that you are majorly affected or that you are feeling some kind of way? Do you take the time to stop and really think about why you feel that way and what's affecting you at that moment? The truth of the matter is we are all affected in many different ways, but it's not the fact that you have an issue, it's the fact that we don't know how to handle the issue. And I've been saying this, for the last month now, that it's imperative that we figure out where to put things. We have to figure out the fact that the pain that we're experiencing or the anxiety that we're experiencing, it's a professor, it's a teacher. It's telling us that something is out of whack. It's telling us that something is not in its proper place, that something seems to be off the track or out of control. My grandmother would say it like this: there's a dead cat on the line. To me, that's hilarious. There's a dead cat on the line. She would say stuff like that, meaning that she would say stuff like, something in the milk ain't white. Something in the milk ain't white. You understand? It's letting us know that something is not happening properly and we need to take a look. Carl Winslow was saying, listen, there's something going on here and I need to stop. I need to pause. I need to pause myself and take a look at what's happening. Can I say to everybody, it's okay to take a pause. We have been in this space that we run so much, we're doing so much all the time that we never pause and say, you know what? There could possibly be something wrong. Let me pause and figure out why I feel this way. The truth of the matter is we get off kilter because we don't take a pause. We don't take a woosah. We need a woosah moment where we just say, you know what? I gotta take some time. I've done it. I've gotten to the point sometimes where I disconnect. I have to take some time and figure out what's going on with me so that I can readjust, so that I can get back on track, so that I can be good for those who I need to be good for. I can't be good for anybody else if I'm not good enough for me at the moment. If I can't handle me at the moment, I most certainly can't handle anybody else. And so it's imperative that we stop and adjust to figure out what's good for us at the moment, to realign ourselves. Okay, when GPS first came out, if you went the wrong way, it would say recalibrating. Okay, and it would take a moment to readjust itself rather. Okay, we have to do the same when things seem to be getting out of whack, when we seem to be losing control, when it seems like things are not going the way that we need them to go. It's okay to take a break and recalibrate. It's okay to readjust yourself. It's okay to try and figure out what's going on. And so I'm going to say this and then I'll probably be done. One of the biggest things that I had to learn how to do, and I did it this week, I do it quite often, is I disconnect. Okay? I disconnect sometimes from people. I disconnect sometimes from places. I disconnect sometimes from things. Okay? And sometimes people would think, what's wrong with him? He acting funny. He being ridiculous. What's his problem? No, it's not a problem. It's just that it's going to be one if I don't pull back and readjust, if I don't pull back and recalibrate. if I don't pull back and try to figure out where am I and why am I the way that I am. Okay. Most times we're so busy about how people are going to judge us if we make a different move. But the move must be made in order for you to be better. Okay, I had to figure that out. Me being who I am, a lot of times people they want me to be who they need me to be, rather than being concerned with my well-being. You know why? Because I am responsible for my well-being, not people. You are responsible for your own well-being. Okay, and as long as you're pouring out, people will receive what you're pouring. So it's imperative for you to decide, okay, this is where I stop. I'm getting on empty here. I need to pull back and refill. Okay? It's imperative that we do that. Okay? One of the things that I did this week so that I wouldn't get caught up in how I was feeling about Tuesday is I pulled back from social media. I pulled back from watching any type of media that would make me think about what is going on this week. I disconnected. Okay, I disconnected from my device. I disconnected. One of the other ways that I do things is I turn my phone on silent. Do you not know that a lot of people's trauma is connected to the ringing on their phone? A lot of people's trauma is connected to the notifications on their phone. If your Facebook is constantly going off, your Instagram is constantly going off, your text messaging is constantly going off, it can create trauma in your spirit. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know that. Okay, I've had to deal with that. And so I learned to disconnect even from my device or devices. Okay, and when I don't disconnect from my device or devices, God has a way of disconnecting for me. Maybe it doesn't happen to you, but it happens to me. Okay, and this week, it was at one point I couldn't even get on the internet through my desktop. Okay, because I needed a disconnect. Okay, even in being a prophet of the Lord, I really can't spend a lot of time watching a whole lot of stuff. I can't let a lot of stuff get in my spirit. Okay, and that might sound deep to some of you, but the issues that many of us are experiencing is because of what we're letting in our eye gates, our ear gates, and what we're saying out of our mouth. Okay, God spoke to me some time ago, and I've said this to many people. He told me, he said, Francis, I gave you language not necessarily for just saying how you feel, but to create. I didn't just give it to you to communicate with other people. I gave it to you for you to create. And many times we're spending more time trying to communicate rather than creating. Okay, one of the mothers at the church in Spirit and Truth in Atlanta, she would say, you got to learn how to speak when spoken through. Not just speak when spoken to, but speak when spoken through. Okay, and as a prophet, as a man of God, a lot of times I have to make sure that what I'm saying is what God wants me to say, that I'm speaking when spoken through. Okay, that I'm not just responding to what it is I hear, or that I'm careful about what it is I hear, or what it is I'm taking in. Okay? You are what you eat, folks. It really is the truth. You are what you eat. And so if you are spending a lot of time reading a lot of stuff, listening to a lot of foolishness, okay? I know some of this stuff that we see on the internet is funny and all of that kind of stuff, but it also leaves an indelible mark on your heart and in your spirit. And you got to be careful about what you put in there, because that's where this anxiety and depression a lot of times springs from. It's a seed from the things that we've watched and the things we've ingested. So it's imperative that we learn how to take breaks when we need to take a break. It's imperative that we know when we've reached our limit. Okay? Sometimes you deal with certain people that you love so very kindly, whether that is friends, family, or even a spouse, your children. Sometimes you have to unplug from them too. And you got to know when you have reached your limit. It's okay to reach a limit. It's not okay when we've reached our limit and we keep going, because then you are a ticking time bomb ready to explode. And that is never, ever, ever okay. But it is okay to take a break before you have an explosion. Okay? I want to say that to you. I hope I've said something already that's blessing you, because it's imperative that we get there. It's okay to unplug. Okay? Everything works better once it's unplugged. Have you ever had an device or a piece of technology that seemed to be all haywire? Your wireless router, your internet, your things seem to be out of control, and the only thing it needs is for you to unplug it and let it rest for a second and then plug it back in? Could it be that we are the same sometimes? That sometimes we need a second to unplug? Even Jesus unplugged. He would send the disciples on their way and he would go away to pray because he needed a time to unplug. Glory be to God. And I don't know who I'm talking to at this moment, but you may need a time to separate yourself. Okay? Separation brings elevation. Sometimes we've gotten so low because of the situations that we've been around, and we need a moment to separate so that we can elevate. Are you here? So there's many of us right now. Sometimes we're feeling so bad because people need us, our children need us, our spouse needs us, our family needs us, our church needs us, the people at the job need us. No, let me tell you something. If you die because you didn't disconnect, people will move on. I learned this as a leader. I was trying to be all things to all people all the time. And I learned that when I got down, they moved to the next thing. They didn't come and try to fix me. They hopped on the next train. Not because they're mean, not because they're hateful, but because people want what they want. And oftentimes we don't think about how it affects the people who are always giving it. So I learned that it was okay to disconnect. I learned that there were times where I could be like, I'm not answering that phone. There's times when I don't have to answer the text for 1 or 2 days if I don't feel like it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I can't believe it. Yep. Yep. There's times I see the number right on there and I don't answer it. There's times where I don't want to talk. There's times where I don't want to do any of that stuff because I need a moment. And just like other people have personal lives, so do I. We all have personal lives. There are all kinds of things that go on in our personal lives. I have several things going on in my personal life right now, all the time. Okay, so it's okay to figure out that some things trigger you and you need a moment. And it's imperative to say to those people who you love, hey, I had to take a moment. Please don't hold it to my heart. I needed a moment. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you as fast as you needed to. Please forgive me. It's okay to say that. Okay? And those who really actually know you, they know that if you were prepared or if you were okay, you would answer immediately. Your non-immediate response means that you needed a moment. You needed a woosah. Woo! You needed a breath of fresh air. You needed a second just to lay there and do nothing. Some of you need a personal day where you lay on your couch or on your bed and do absolutely nothing. You can watch TV if you want to. You can read a book if you want to. You can sit there and stare at the ceiling if you want to. It's okay to take a break. All right, I hope I said something today that has encouraged you. I hope I said something that has empowered you. It really is okay to take a break, folks. It really is. Use some of that PTO that you got. Take a personal day. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yep. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. Learn how to use no as a complete sentence. People will be okay. They will find another way. Yes. You do not have to wear a cape every day. You don't have to have the hero syndrome. It's killing you. It's okay to take a break. All right. How about you sew with us today? That'll be great. The information is right down there at the bottom of the screen. Or it should be in that chat already. All right. I want you to have a most amazing day today. Will you see me Sunday at 9 a.m.? I'm looking forward to seeing you for Grits and Glory. It's going to be a big old bowl of grits, and we're going to have a good time. I want you to have a most amazing weekend this weekend. I love you. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Peace.